meeting. Could we have the roll call, please?
Clute.
Here.
Bragg.
Here.
Harvey.
Here.
Weinrice.
Here.
Mayor Robish.
Present. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll move on to the agenda approval. Any additions or corrections that I may have missed?
Motion to approve?
I just have one correction, Mayor.
Oh.
In the minutes, it did note that the mayor was present last meeting, and that just needs to be adjusted.
I'll make that.
The then mayor was present.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Weinrice.
Aye.
Mayor
Aye.
Robish.
Moving on to number 3, the City Commission adjourns to convene as the Board of Adjustments for the following public hearing. Consider variance request filed by Keith and Deanna Cundy, project address 1781 3rd Street Southeast, to operate a kennel boarding service for up to 12 dogs, where this is not listed as a permitted use in the area zoned R7. I'm going to turn this over to our city planner, Barry Cranston.
Thank you, Mayor Robish. Yes, the Cundys are applying for a variance to allow the use of a dog boarding facility in the Morningside area. That area is zoned R7 and it is not an allowable use in that area. And so after some back and forth between the Cundys and I had originally made the recommendation that they be limited to 8 dogs on site for a maximum occupancy. And I believe in your packet there is a memo stating that after meeting with them and them and they agreeing to some compromises and adding some additional insulation and sound barrier type of materials that I had changed my recommendation to allow them the maximum 12, which is what they were applying for.
Okay.
And so it's quite an elaborate plan, and so I think the customers here, I think, will be very impressed with what the Cundys are proposing. So we did have one party in particular that was in opposition to it. They live just north of this facility, but in my original recommendations, I wanted extra insulation in the roof and in the north wall, and they are doing that and going beyond that to install insulation in the various rooms. These aren't open cages on the inside of this facility. These are all similar to a hotel room. They'll have raised dog beds and they'll have TVs and they'll have the whole 9 yards. So given that, I did change my recommendation to the Planning Commission to allow the maximum of 12 dogs, which is what their business plan calls for. And the Joint Planning Commission voted unanimously to support that.
Good.
The Cundys are here for any questions, should anybody have any questions for them.
Let's get a motion on the table first.
I'll make a motion to approve with Barry's recommendation on the insulation and up to 12 dogs. Second.
Okay. Any questions? Let's see. You said the Cundys are here.
Yeah, right here.
Anybody in opposition here on the matter? I don't see any, so I'm going to invite the Cundys if they have anything you want to add to his.
Well, I can add a little, I guess.
Why don't you come on up and tell us your name and your address?
I'm Keith Cundy, this is Deanne Cundy, and we're at 1657 First Street Northeast, which is also up in Morningside. I just want to add that the parties that were concerned with what we were doing up there, they're north of the building, so we built this plan to make sure the north end of this building is no dogs on the north end of the building. And it has an indoor play area that's 15 feet wide by 32 feet long. So most of and that's all on the south end. So any noise should go south, which is facing empty street and nothing across the street. And then we also made sure that the kennels were also, they're all separate insulated. So there'll be sound barrier there on top of the rest of the sound barrier. And we'll also have ventilation systems in there, of course. There's staff 24/7, so that the dogs will never be alone. And if they do go out the north side, it's just to go to the bathroom and come back in for the small dogs. The large dogs will be to the east, and they will also be, their outside runs are short, and they'll be fully fenced with wood fencing, solid wood fence, so they can't see each other. And like Deanne had mentioned, they can't talk if they can't see each other,
Yeah.
so. So, yeah, so just so the other party, he was so concerned about his being so close, we have taken every possible step to keep that from happening, so that there's not dogs barking
Sure sounds
on
like
this
it,
side.
even if they don't even like the same TV program.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the Cundys? Any, yes?
I was so impressed with the plan you put together, and I know there is a need for this in our community, and I just found your proposal very impressive. And I think it's great that you are putting together a hotel for the boarding of the dogs in our community. I think it's a great plan. And I appreciated the fact that you checked with the Humane Society, and you really did a lot of homework on it. It was very well thought out.
Thank you. I mean, it's been a plan years in the making, and I have kenneled my own dogs for years and driven many miles to do so. And that's why I didn't want to do the cage thing. It's from personal experience. I've experienced a lot of different kennels, and I've taken ideas from each of them to try and build this concept. So thank you.
Great. Anything else? Good. Commissioner Brad?
So, I know too, there was the one, that had opposition. I didn't know if they had the petition included that had quite a few of the other folks in the neighborhood that were in support of it, so that.
There was a petition, thank you for bringing that up. There was a petition in support of this by many neighbors in that area.
That's
Do
good.
you, Barry, do you have a finalized, I know you noted some things about soundproofing, but then on that document, it's also where it said 8. What was your final recommendations after everything?
The maximum of 12.
And then no changes, so specifically the entire ceiling reinforced with insulation?
Yes,
And the
and
north
that's
wall,
what,
you said?
yeah, Keith can answer that, but.
Yeah, when we first came to him, we didn't give him our draft of what the inside of the building will look like when it's completed. And I was like, I don't think he understands that everything is like R34 in the wall, the main wall's on that side, and then everything else will be, each kennel will be insulated also, so that to keep the sound down.
And
And
the
then,
roof will have 2 feet of blown-in insulation in it.
Oh,
Perfect, thank you. Then my last,
Then,
sorry.
you know, and that was why we kinda had to work through some of those questions, and that memo actually had some similar characteristics from the former dog boarding place over on Third Street, and just for some comparison.
Thank you. The last question I had was just regarding the outdoor space. Do we have, either in their business plan or anything which you stated, or do we have ordinances regarding being outdoors at certain hours? Like, are we gonna put a condition that there's not animals outside? Cause that's, with an indoor play space and their own individual rooms, I think you've addressed all that. The only thing I could see a neighbor saying is, hey, but sure, all that's fine, but if they leave the dogs out all night and they're barking, so is there anything in our ordinances or any conditions that would talk about the hours that the animals
We
could be
didn't
outside?
because the facility will be staffed 24 hours, and if there are dogs barking and they're outside for an extended period of time, that staff should be able to manage it. So the planning commission had no recommendations regarding
Well,
that.
and I would assume that would be addressed via the same type of noise complaints. You know, this, even with us giving them this variance, if the neighbors complain about dogs barking, we would still have the same process that we go through right now for nuisance, correct?
Correct.
So this doesn't absolve them.
The dog doors are all going to be locking, so the dogs will come in at a certain hour, and you'll be able to lock the dog doors in the building but
And basically, the ones that'll have to go to the bathroom after 10 o'clock per se, will have a staff member
There,
with them,
so-
they'll do their business and come back in.
Sounds good, yeah, I figured we might get some questions about that, so I
Yep.
wanted to clarify that piece of it, so thank you.
Yep. Anything else for the, yes?
Mayor, I just wanna note that I'll be recusing my vote for a conflict of interest.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Anybody else? We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, you.
Thank you.
thank you very much.
The Board of Adjustment adjourns to reconvene as the City Commission, and we'll move on to public forum. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Please state your name and address for the record. Anyone in the audience here for public forum tonight? Anything from the commissioners tonight? I would just like to say one thing, and I know it's kind of old news, but it's not really. I mean, we're a little over a week into the citywide cleanup, and I guess I want to just say a thank you to all the residents of Huron. And not just of Huron, but the surrounding areas or whatever, but you didn't just sit on your hands and wait for somebody to come and help clean up. I mean, as big a pile of trees as we had on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I mean, that was a lot. And then now as the street crews go out, it's getting bigger and bigger, but it's getting better and better. So I just want to thank everybody for their own hard work and their own patience, and we saw people that were helping people they didn't know, and that's just what we do here, and that's how communities thrive and survive. So thank you very much for that. We are going to have a work session tonight afterwards with all our department heads, and we're just going to refresh everybody on the cleanup and on the progress and on what we have left to do. So if you are listening and you want to hurry up and come down and listen, come on down. So we'll move on from public forum then. So we'll move on to consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. And tonight our consent agenda consists of 6.1 minutes of July 2, 2026 special meeting, 6.2 minutes of July 6, 2026, 6.3 fuel quotes for city departments, 6.4 personnel items. Number 1, acknowledge that Braxton Mendel has obtained and required his certifications to change his classification from water sewer treatment uncertified to water sewer treatment 1 and will receive a wage increase effective July 12, 2026. And number 2, acknowledge the voluntary resignation of volunteer firefighters Stephanie Viatoi and Ikani Viatoi effective July 1st, 2026. 6.5, consider special alcohol permit submitted by Broadland Creek Golf Course for the Tiger Roar Tournament on July 18th. 6.6, consider a special alcohol permit submitted by Broadland Creek Golf Course for the Woolsey-Wessington Golf Scramble on July 25th. 6.7, consider special alcohol permit submitted by One Oaks Events for the Huron College Class Reunion on Splash Central Picnic Shelter on July 24th, 2026. And 6.8, payment of the bills.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Roll call vote, please.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Weinrice.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to bid quote items, number 7.1, consider pay request number 2 for bid number 2026-03, street milling and overlay from Asphalt Paving and Materials in the amount of $6,470. And we have with us tonight our Assistant Engineer, Sean Snothorse.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. This is a progress payment for asphalt paving. This is for the striping that they did on the 2 4th Street service roads and the newly paved 9th Street road. This work was done shortly after pavement took place. However, it was far enough after that it was not able to be picked up on payment 1. So we're just catching up a little bit on that.
Okay.
And engineering recommends approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Any questions for Sean on this? Roll call vote, please.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Garvey.
Aye.
Weinrice.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to petitions and communications. We have two of them with us tonight. We have a semi-annual update from the Huron Event Center, and we have with us tonight Brenda Jagger from the Event Center. There she is. Come on up and tell us what you got going on.
Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. Regarding the storm damage, we were very fortunate. We did have a little bit of water came in some doors, but got that cleaned up, so we were very fortunate compared to a lot of other places, so we count that as a win. Starting January 1, we had a new food and beverage company take over, One Oak Events. Kevin is doing really well at that. He's changed up some new things, working on a new menu. He's done some new events. We've done some catering, which we haven't done a lot in the past, so he's been doing that. Working on a new menu, so hopefully in the near future, we're gonna see some new items being served, so that's going really well. A lot of good feedback from our conventions, weddings, and meetings that we've been having. We've had several conventions here in the spring. We've had 3 large weddings. 2 of them have been over 600 people, one in April and one here in June. And we have one this weekend of 550 people, so we've been running some people through, so it's been good business, so happy about that. I did pass out a calendar of events in your packet, some numbers, just so you kind of have an idea of what's been going on the last 6 months and what's coming up the next 6. Otherwise, everything has been going really well. We have some roof issues from the past. It's a 1987 flat roof on the old existing part of the event center, and we're getting that replaced. That was in the budget, so that will be done. Obviously, when things slow down and they can get to us to get it fixed, we'll get that replaced. Other than that, things have been going really well, and we're continuing to hopefully bring new business and more business to the event center.
Any questions for Brenda? Comments? Yeah, it's doing very good. I don't even like chicken, but he's got a great chicken sandwich.
I will let him know.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thanks, Brenda.
All right, next, 8.2, we'll move on to the semi-annual update from the Huron Area Senior Center, and we have Deanna Helvick with us tonight.
Hello,
Mm-hmm.
how are you guys all?
Doing all right?
Here's my update. Currently the senior center has 370 members. And we have recently launched what we call the Road to 500 Summer Membership Challenge. It is our goal to reach 500 members at the senior center by the end of August. By our math and the census.org, there's about 4,700 people in Huron that are of the age of 50 or higher, which makes them all members age to be part of the senior center. So we believe 500 should be a number that should be attainable. Our membership helps support the programs and activities, meals, different services we provide, and it also strengthens the seniors' connection to the community. We do a lot of fundraising. Our most successful fundraising effort right now has been our Thursday night bingo. We began hosting Thursday night bingo on February 19th, and we continued every Thursday until June 4th. And then we transitioned into our summer bingo nights, which is one Monday per month in the month of June, July, and August. And we'll resume our Thursday night bingos again, starting September 10th after the fair. Since February, our bingo nights have raised a little over, a little under $10,000 for the senior center. We do cash payouts with those nights. We've paid out over $8,000 in prize money and still managed to make a little under 10,000 so far. So that's a tremendous amount for the senior center. We also hosted our first community garage sale. We opened up our parking lot and invited people to come and have a rummage sale in our parking lot. We sold spots for $10 a space, and they could sell whatever they wanted to off of it. We had 25 different people from the community come and rent a space to have a rummage sale at. It was geared more towards people that live in apartment living that don't have a yard or a garage. They have no place to have a rummage sale. That same day, we were already getting phone calls wanting to know when the next one was. It was a great event. So we will be making this an annual fundraiser at the senior center. Our next fundraiser is actually gonna be another rummage sale in September. We are taking donated items to put in that rummage, which means all of the proceeds from that rummage will go to the senior center. I currently have 4 office rooms full of donations that I've started taking. I'm in donation heaven right now. We have tons, except I'm not taking any furniture or appliances because I have no places to hold those. So with regular rummage sale season going on, when people are done with those, they just bring me all their goodies, and then we'll sell them and make some money for the senior center to go towards activities for them. Our biggest thing though we do there at the senior center is a nutrition part. Numbers for you, ran some today, so for the first 6 months, January through June, we have 2 different meal programs. We have a congregate meal where people come, come sit down, eat with us, and then we have the Meals on Wheels or the home delivered. We have sites in both Huron, Highmore, Hitchcock, Woolsey, and Woonsocket. So congregate meals alone, where people came and sat down with us, our Highmore site in those first 6 months of the year served 1,300 meals. Our Hitchcock site served 231 meals. Woolsey site was 1,200 meals. Woonsocket was 2,000 meals, and Huron was 5,067 meals in 6 months. And that's just the people that come and eat with us every day. For our meals that are delivered to the homes, there's 2 sites that do that. That's Highmore and Huron. Highmore served 2,016 meals to their people that can't get out of their home and are homebound. Huron serves 16,955 meals that are hand-delivered 2 doors 5 days a week. That's a lot of food.
That's a lot of food.
That was just January through June, Deanna?
Yep. Yeah, so all of it together is 28,889 meals served in 6 months. It's a lot of food. We do get some reimbursement from the state. We did just get a raise from the state by 9 cents. So we do get reimbursed $4.23 for every meal from the state now. Other than that, it is a suggested donation of $5 per meal. About 27% of the meals are paid for. The rest do not have the funds to pay for the meals. So that's where the fundraising comes in. That's where money from the city comes in. Money from different grant programs comes in to help pay for these. These are great numbers. It's a lot of people, but it's a lot more than just food. Each of these numbers and meals, it's nourishment, it's a social connection and a wellness check on people that can't get out of their houses and that are homebound. And it's allowing older adults to remain in their homes instead of going to a facility. So the more that we can do and our volunteers can do, it helps keep people out of facilities and we don't have that many facilities in Huron, so then it keeps people here instead of shipping them out of town to a different place. We have a great staff. Our volunteers are amazing. They step up when we are short running meals to people. We're always looking for more volunteers, obviously, but we've got a great group of them right now. Other than that, that's our big deal at the senior center. Anybody got any questions?
Did you guys weather through the storm all right in your building?
We made it. Our building, lost electricity for 47 hours, which means we lost everything in our freezers and refrigerators. So we figure it was about $2,500 worth of loss. I'm happy that it was at the end of the week, which means we were getting a semi on Monday, so we could throw everything away. Monday morning, we ran to the grocery stores and got what we needed to make meals to get them out on Monday. And we were successful with that and just started over again.
You have pretty good numbers in Highmore.
We do.
How did that fare out?
Highmore is a hot mess.
Oh, yeah.
So in November, Highmore Senior Center had a fire. So they haven't been in their own building. They have been using the auditorium in Highmore. And then they got hit by the storm, which moved the nursing home into the auditorium. And then the senior center portion of it got moved out. And then they have contracts to redo the auditorium floors and all of that during their summertime. So as of right now, Highmore does not exist, kind of. Huron has stepped in and now we are making meals for them and storing a week's worth of meals in a freezer, and they come over once a week and pick up a week's worth of meals, drive back, and deliver them to every household.
Well, that's the second biggest number. Well,
Yeah.
it is the second biggest
Yeah,
number.
so about 300 meals a week we're freezing down for them so that they can pick them up and take them right directly to the houses as soon as they get there, because there's no location. There is no freezers, there's no stove, no building, no phone.
Yeah.
They are working on building a new building, not building, revamping their building that was on fire, which hopefully they can get into the end of August or September. So we just have a temporary situation where we're moving things around.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else for Deanna? Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
good work.
Have a good one.
Me too.
All right, moving on to, in petitions and communications, number 8.3, public hearing for a special on-sale license for Spotlight Events LLC for an event on July 18th. Pauline, do you have any information on this?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. This is a special license that we're having a public hearing because they do not have their own license. So when they don't have a license, we have to do a public hearing.
Yep.
That's why this is on it. We did not receive any feedback or anybody against it, so we recommend approval.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Weinrice.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to ordinances and resolutions, 9.1, second reading of ordinance number 2285-18-71. Mr. Cranston?
Thank you, Mayor. This is merely the second reading of the ordinance that is an update as a result of Senate Bill 3 that was passed earlier this year. And this ordinance basically says that any repair or substantially similar replacement of any of the following exterior parts or of a detached single-family owner occupied residential structure, unless it's designated as a historical structure, mind you, but basically doors, if the dimensions are the same, downspouts, fascia, fencing, gutters, siding, if it's non-structural, soffits, windows, as long as the windows remain the same. you know, those things are all, if they're a repair or substantially similar replacement, then there's no permit for that. And that follows right in line with the new state statute, so. I don't know if you wanna add to that, Aaron?
Yeah, nothing.
We got nothing, we can't hear you, so,
It looked like you were in agreement.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions for Mr. Cranston? Mr. Bragg?
Well, I think some of us were out in Pier when this was being debated, and I think that the attempt from the Senate and it was to streamline the process, keep things from being a hassle for the building inspector and make it so that homeowners have more control over their home for the easy stuff. And I know they debated this quite a bit back and forth on what could be included for safety reasons and, you know, the structural and all that, and then what didn't need to be included. So they spent a lot of time on it. I think it's good. I think a lot of people like the idea of being able to do those simple, easy fixes at their home without having to go through a detailed process. But anything that's, could be a risk or dangerous or impact neighbors is still gonna be run through our program here to make sure that it's done
You know, and
correctly.
fencing, for example, is always one that is a little, you know, we're gonna still go out and we're gonna be checking fences and making sure they're on the right property lines
Yeah.
and some of that kind of stuff, so we'll still be involved with some of it.
Okay, anything else? Roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Bragg?
Aye.
Harvey?
Aye.
Weinrice?
Aye.
Mayor Roberts?
Aye. All right, that takes care of our business for the night. We're gonna move into a work session, and we're just gonna do some update on our storm damage. And Bob, I'm gonna call you last, so sit down.
Calling on myself first.
So, let's just go right down. Chris, what do you got going on in your department?
Well, I was involved with Barry and Pauline on this new app that we have to record all of our property damage, and I'll let Pauline go into that in depth. But I met with insurance adjusters all last week.
Yep.
And this week, that's more of the same. Roofing crews have been coming to town to look at city buildings. Yeah, that's about the update I have right now.
Okay. Okay. Chad?
We're caught up with our trees, with our tree cleanup at this point. We have a little bit left to do out of Mountain Dew. And then just a matter of I need to go back through and figure out which trees need to be cut down all the way that have severe damage, but everything in our parks are picked up. With the team from Sioux Falls helping us. I have a great staff. We have a lot of great city staff that pitched in for us, but you had a team of 15 every day for a week to help you out of Sioux Falls, and you can get a lot of stuff done, and we did do that. So we've been through all of our facilities one time, and now we're just going back through and evaluating what trees need to come down all the way because of severe damage. Just like Chris said, I've been through all of our sites now with the insurance adjusters last week, so we can get that list started, and we're just waiting to hear back so that we can start making some repairs. Some of the things on my radar right now is we have a state softball men's tournament coming up the 15th of August that weekend, and we have some scoreboards that we need to get fixed up out at Mountain Dew Fields, and then we need to evaluate our shade shelters out there. They were all had some wind damage on them. We're just kind of waiting back to hear from the insurance company how we're going to handle those repairs, and then we'll be able to run that tournament out there. We have state senior games, the first weekend in August also, that, we'll be able to have that down, and at Memorial Park, we'll have the 5K and the 10K stuff down there, and then the horseshoes will be down in there, so I think we'll be able to have all those events. So, other than that, thank you to all the city staff to help me with equipment. We needed some equipment, we needed extra equipment that we just didn't have.
Yeah.
So, it's been great.
Okay. Dale and Andrew? I don't know.
I got Andrew kind of give it,
Okay.
we kind of put it together.
Yeah, I've got about a dozen items here. I'll try and take through them pretty quick.
Repairs to facilities and vehicles are underway. Auto glass on 2 pickup trucks has been replaced and side mirror penny replacement. Quotes are being developed by a local vendor for replacement of 2 commercial truck windshields. Interim debris catch screens have been installed at the base of damaged door openings at the transfer station in order to mitigate windblown debris from the building. 3 competitive quotes sought and received for replacement of 8 large overhead doors at the older and newer solid waste buildings. The newer buildings' doors are tentatively scheduled for replacement by July 30th. Dates for replacement on the older buildings' 3 overhead doors have yet to be determined. On-site assessments of the old building's destroyed roof section have been made. Replacement costs and time frame are pending. Solid waste site and facility cleanup efforts have been fruitful, with most storm debris now removed. Ongoing work in progress at the old building, with some interior debris and large amounts of oil absorbent material still needing to be cleaned up. Repair is now scheduled for broken gas line inside of the new building. Solid waste tree grinding vendor is scheduled to arrive at the 3rd Street drop-off site next week with 2 large grinding machines.
No,
Just one?
just to give us a quote.
Oh, just to give you,
Just
okay.
give us a
quote.
Okay.
Okay.
Estimated 1 to 2 weeks of work when they do arrive, does
Yeah.
that sound right? A very little out-of-town tree debris traffic across our scale. All local residents are using the 3rd Street storm drop-off location. Building debris traffic across the scale has been very high since the storm, with smaller loads being sorted out as usual into the building and into the rubble site. Side dump traffic with storm damaged buildings has been significant, with those materials being dumped into the lime beds. Solid waste is tracking and recording storm-related waste types, sources, and volumes. Dozens of reports of missing waste containers have been fielded. Residents have been provided with serial numbers corresponding to their missing containers and asked to make a good faith effort to relocate them near their homes. Many have since found their containers. Those who haven't have been provided with replacements and no additional cost. I think we maybe brought out 8 or 10 containers, so not nearly as bad as we thought it might be in the first week. 1 downtown can insert was also went missing, but a replacement has been found. Collection operations have been moderately impeded by remaining storm debris on roads and in alleyways, but not significantly. And finally, solid waste excavating contractor was on site today compacting rubble on the work face of our rubble landfill. In the days ahead this week, the contractor will begin excavation of a new cell to the south of the existing one in preparation for a storm-related surge in waste volume.
Okay, I'm gonna back up to Chad just a little bit. I know you had a lot of tree cleanup and stuff. You getting caught up on the grass because I kind of fell behind, not
Yep.
by,
We
everybody's
were able
did.
to- Our part-time, yes, we worked out a plan to keep all the mowers going last week. Our part-timers stepped up a little bit, and we were able to keep up. And then like today, I had Dylan mowing all day long. The week started over, so we're keeping up with that. So yes,
Good,
I feel like we're in a good spot.
good.
And the heat's gonna slow it all down a little bit.
Yep. Yep. Angela, do you have anything to report from the
We had a
library?
leak in our roof on the north end. The roofers came last week and they patched the hole we had. Haven't replaced the ceiling tiles yet, so they opened the hole, but, all the leak we had underneath the door and the windows been cleaned up. So that's all really damage we had. So thankful for that.
Yeah. How about HR? You're in block walls, come on. John, I'm gonna skip you for a little bit. Brenda?
Just the water that came under the doors, that was all cleaned up, so we're good.
Okay. Doug?
Well, I appreciate the neighbors. I've been using everybody else's green cans that I pulling around. So I
Know where to pick 'em up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Chad's crew, like he said, did an amazing job. Got that north parking lot back going again and out in front of the building. Ed worked hard sweeping everything up out there, so it looks really good moving forward.
Good, good. Sean, anything from the?
Traffic department have been busy straightening out traffic lights. They've got those all done. They also have some damage to the warning siren poles with leaning. And I'm not going to go into every number that we have, but they've replaced replaced a lot of bent signs. They have a lot to do yet.
And Custer got open today.
Correct.
Yep, it was done yesterday, but it was late enough to where.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good, good. Chief?
We found a little bit more damage than we knew before. Our building at the range had some, wind damage at a center garage door that doesn't open, kind of bound up. We still don't have power out there. And then, looks like the whole building kind of moved off the foundation a little bit, but other than that, we had Mike Harrison's pickup looked at. We have, parts coming for that on the 20th of this month, so we'll get that fixed. Sounds like that's most likely water, related also, driving through high water, and, electronic rack for a steering system and a Dodge pickup is mounted on the bottom of the engine, we found out. That's a good spot for it. So, we'll get that fixed. That's about $3,000, but we informed Paul of that. We'll get that added for reimbursement also. But other than that, not much.
Okay, good. John? Your turn.
We somehow got really lucky, even being out of the airport, but we had one broken window, which we talked to some people today, actually. I think we could probably remove the window ourselves and have it re-glassed, we think. So that should be fairly simple. And then, the roofing company stopped by the station and addressed a leak, and I think that was all they found. So for damage was pretty minor there. I can't say it was storm related, but our radio situation and communications have been really bad, and they got even worse with the storm. So I've got somebody who's trying to give me options of what we can try to do. So
That Saturday morning when she was in here, did that work better than when you got those radios?
yeah, we were on the state system then.
Okay.
With off their tower and all that, but we're back on our stuff now. It's operational, but it's not good. So they're trying to give us some solutions and possibilities.
Okay.
So.
I have a report from Rob.
Oh, yeah.
Good news, as of noon today, they have electricity at the wastewater treatment plant, and everything is up and running. That is really good
That's
news.
very good news.
That's all he wanted me to share.
Oh, okay. Okay, Bob. How are you doing?
Just peachy. It's been a long week. As far as the building and stuff, Rob's kind of taking care of the building because I've been busy with the trees, but we had like 4 doors that were damaged, a couple windows out, we had them replaced. As far as the progress report on the trees, everything north of 3rd Street is done, southeast of town is all done. We're coming back from Van Hall's, working this way. We're at 18th Street right now, so making pretty good progress.
Very
Had a
good.
lot of repairs, I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of, start rubbing hydraulic hoses and everything down the road, and cylinders, and
Yep.
been a little bit of a battle there. One thing I wanted to know, we had a couple with Drew and, anybody that, the way we attack these trees is we grab a pile, pull it to the street. You go to the next pile, you pull it to the street. Then when you get enough piles out, you shove them all down the road and you load them up. If we have to load every individual pile,
Right.
we'd be here till next Christmas. So anyhow, we had a little issue with that. People wondering why, my clean street is now dirty. So, it's gonna be a chore even with the sweepers trying to get them out because there's chunks of wood and, that can't go through a sweeper without ripping a belt. So it'll be a chore there. But we're going good. Everybody's working their tail off. Like I said, they haven't had a break or sometimes without lunch, hauling them a lot of water. And we got a couple of young guys from Chad today. Tomorrow, we're gonna get a guy from the water department to help clean up behind us when we're all done. He's gonna just come up with the Bobcat and clean up every little,
Yeah.
trying to get it, so. As far as an estimate, the southwest part of town is pretty nasty, but I'm hoping to get pretty close by Thursday. I was informed by my crew, I don't think they're gonna be here this weekend, so. They're tired and they're whooped and it's
Yeah.
100 degrees out, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's going good. So, and then another complaint we've had is, can you quit getting mine, my grass is gonna die underneath the pile.
Yeah.
I give them 3 options, either you wait, you hire it done, or you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because if I start jumping around to save
No.
grass, it's gonna be,
Can't do that, yeah.
can't do it. So, everybody wants to be first, and Some people were this year time, and some
Yeah.
got the unlucky straw.
Yeah.
But we're gaining, and 99.9% of the people have been so appreciative. I mean, they're running out freezy pops and ice cream to the crew, and Rich, you know, has gotten me some prisoner help, or whatever, inmate help, I guess is the correct term, so, but, that's helped immensely.
Yep.
And like I said, everybody's bringing us something out, so.
That's
Had a
good.
lot of help from everybody, and I just ask, you know, once when we get done, you know, last year, we kind of harped on the catch basins, but if, when we get done with your street and there's still something out there, a lot of this, it would help us if you put it in your green container, you know, the small stuff, and just let us concentrate on the big stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've heard a lot of good stories. I haven't heard very many complaints at all, really.
No, it's
about-
been pretty minimal. I think we had the one today, Drew, and then another one maybe from Sean or whatever. It's
There always will be
not
some.
even a
Yeah,
question.
there always will be.
There always will be some. but-
Yeah, there are more questions than complaints, but I guess I did have somebody said we damaged their, anyhow,
Yeah.
gonna file a claim today, so
But
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
vastly more positive than
Way
negative.
more.
Oh, yeah,
Way more.
99 to 1.
And I know I threw Commissioner Weinreich into this thing right in the middle, so,
Yeah.
and he took it on, so thank you for that. Have you discussed, or we haven't discussed as a group or whatever, are we gonna do a follow-up of some kind?
Yeah,
Or-
in what I've told people is when we get done with the town, we will go through it again.
Okay,
And then we will concentrate on alleys, and then we'll concentrate, and that's gonna be another story, and then we've got a few little places like the fairgrounds lot, they're asking if they could do that.
yep,
And, you know, out to Prairie Villa, we committed to doing that, and then we gotta go up to North Beach Circle on some of their land, they pushed all on the lot, we're gonna, so odds and ends like that.
yep. yep.
And then we gotta still get the, arena parking lot cleaned up.
Yeah.
That's obviously been closed since last Monday, although a lot of people don't realize it, or like Coleman's.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it's going good. It's not without effort, but it's going good.
It's going very good. Couple of things I'd like to say is a special thank you to the inmates. I mean, they've been crazy good to work
Yeah.
with, and their work ethic it's good. It's very good. Commissioner Bragg filled in for me there. I was gone for a couple of days, and he met with the governor, and he met with that Christy Truman, I think. And so between the two of that group there, they got these inmates here and took care of that, so it's been very, very good. So, Pauline, is there anything that these guys need to know from you, us, about, I know everyone is talking about insurance, I get that, but,
So they did get through all the town on Friday, so, meaning the adjusters, they spent Thursday and Friday going through all the buildings and everything else that we had listed. They said it could be up to 2 weeks before we know all the details. They're working specifically right now on the airport building and the solid waste buildings, because they're so big in damage. What did we figure, 750,000 between the two
Just,
of them?
just
the
to put
airport.
airs
Yeah.
So we're trying to get through some of those things, because those ones, we can't just go fix, you know, we can't just do it, it's gonna have to be bid. I talked to Aaron last week about, you know, where do we wanna see, we're a weekend now, so things are safe, so we're gonna have to start getting quotes for bigger items. If you don't have it in your budget to cover, you can't just go buy. We're at the point you need to get quotes, or if it's anything over 100,000 or 50,000, we're gonna have to bid. So we'll have to look at, so Barry will go through this sheet that we got preliminarily
Yeah.
through
Very.
with the app, and we're
Yeah.
guesstimating prices. You know, some of you have called and asked, what would it cost for a umbrella? Things like that, but, we want you guys to look at that and make sure we got the estimate somewhat clear, because, again, we needed to be at $93,000, $93.64, to meet Beetle County's guidelines for, applying for the disaster monies. I do think we're gonna reach that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Federal monies was 1.7, and that's a whole different thing, but at this point, we're worried about Beetle County and the state helping us which we use the app, and I thank Chris for helping us, and definitely that is a meeting that every single one of you should have been at to learn, because after having to do it everywhere, you could totally tell that staff that work it could make explanations better of what it is, how it works, what it costs, all those things. So we will have some additional training. We talked with the Beaver County Emergency Manager to have a training for the county, the city, possibly even the school. So this I'll turn over to Barry now,
Yeah.
because he put the assessment together.
Yeah, we did a lot of work with just trying to upload all of this information into the app, because that is how it's going to be done from now on. And I kind of resorted these, so it goes from zero cost for some of the things such as the cleaning up the water and the carpets in the event center, to $750,000 or $500,000 for the airport property. And so some of that, and some of this is a function of how the app exports its numbers. And so, for example, the roof damage at the airport was one of the highest at 500,000, but you'll see that that hangar door, we had pegged at about 250,000 because it's such a large door. So we did that individually. And so, but all of that said, and some of this is absolutely one of the, just a wild guess as to what it could cost. But the state really felt they needed a valuation of some kind. And so we guessed at some of it. And some of it could be
Educated.
way low or way high. So, but the number we came up with is about 1.7 million, a little over that. We did look at the overtime hours and the equipment time involved with the trees. I can tell you that as of July 9th, we had 4 piles of trees, and it totaled over 1.6 million cubic feet of trees in those 4 piles. That does not include the southwest corner. And so I believe that we'll be well in excess of 2 million cubic feet of trees that are gonna have to be handled either in the lime pits, or Dale's working with the guy getting a quote for shredding it. We're gonna have to manage that as we go forward. And so it was a major undertaking, and people don't really understand what Bob Simpson's been going through, but I can tell you.
Neither do I, Barry.
That's what his guys are working on, is toting around 1.6 million cubic feet of trees. And so kudos to that department, because they're handling it. But anyway, these are just a very raw estimate, and this is what we sent to the state. Now I've had a call back from Chad Olerud, who's the Beagle County Emergency Manager. The state will go through and verify this and call us with any questions. Then it will get submitted to the feds, probably within about a month. And then a month later, we will probably hear about what the process will be from there. Chad believes it will be another application process that we will have to input this information into a different platform, and then we'll go with the FEMA reps from there.
Sure.
So that is a kind of a tentative plan.
So the county already, at their last meeting, voted to declare their emergency. Do we have to do something at our stage, or?
No, they declare for Beagle County, which
Right.
Huron is part of Beagle County.
Yep.
They did that last Thursday
Yep.
for their meeting, yeah.
Right.
And I will say Chad Olerud got thrown in, he's been emergency
Yeah.
management for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And,
Not even.
and I don't think it's that long, and then he's been, all of a sudden he decided he was going to have a baby in
Yeah,
right in
yeah.
the middle
I
of the
mean-
process,
And they're
so.
doing the local emergency planning committee drill on Thursday out at Dakota Provisions.
Yeah.
We're doing that, so.
So
So
he
his plate
busy.
is full.
He got thrown in the fire real fast and
Yeah.
real early, so he did a great job.
Yes,
He-
he's,
And
he'll be a good hand.
again, I want to say, there were some people talking about how come we don't get any state help. Well, Commissioner Bragg met with the governor on Sunday or Sunday, and Thursday night, there were two people from another department, I can't remember where they were from. Derek was here and Bob was here, I guess. And,
Secretary Perry and.
yeah,
Ryan.
I can't remember.
Ryan Brunner.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Brunner, QED, yeah.
He's been here
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah.
But they were here Thursday night already, and then Saturday morning, that Christy Truman, if I get her name right, Turman,
Christy Terman.
she was very instrumental with Chad Olerud from the Department of Energy, or Department of Public Safety. And so she was very, very, very supportive, so we've had nothing but great support from the state, so. One last thing, and it's not right, but Northwestern Public Service, I'm telling you, if you see those guys, buy them an ice cream cone or something. I mean, it's, Bob, your crew's out there, we're all out there, I guess, we're all out there. But they were out yesterday on Custer Avenue. Public Service has hired some outside companies, I think they're from Wyoming someplace, but they were out there all day yesterday, and they got that open, and now they're working on the west of town. And Public Services, I know Tom gets to sit in the air-conditioned office, Tom, but your workers are out there, and I mean, they're the heroes of this whole thing, so. Between Public Service and the residents, it just, whatever, I can't say it, I guess, so, it's all good.
Mayor, I should just follow quick on the airport, where I'm working with Chris and Paula, and we're trying to get the original company that built that building to come give us a second quote on the doors and the roof, because we will need that for the size of it. But I did want to follow up, you mentioned the inmates, and we've been working with the state fair, and they're still, coordinating, having them drop there. But I did want to mention, if there's any department heads, as of right now, it changes potentially daily what they have available, but the plan right now is that they would be returning some inmates to town this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then after that, we'll have to decide if we want to ask for any more and what's available. So I've already worked with Chad and with Bob a little bit, but if there's other departments that could use that type of help, let me know, and I'll make sure we get that into the schedule. We're limited a little bit because we have to keep track of their vehicles, and they have to have corrections officers with, and so we can't break into too many crews, but that's kind of what we've been trying to coordinate. So for sure, we'll have some more assistance coming. The plan currently is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, so if anybody else could use that help, get in touch with me, and I'll make sure we get it on the schedule.
Good deal. Anything from anybody else? We missed anything?
Just wanted to add, if you wanna be impressed, go down to Third Street and look at that tree.
Yeah.
He talks about the cubic feet, and there's not a lot of air.
Yeah.
Cubic feet, I guarantee you, it's pretty solid.
We've had about 500 semis is what we've hauled out so far.
Those people that were here with the Freedom Trailer this last weekend, they were here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and before they left yesterday, well, first question was, what's next door? Because they were set up in the west parking lot, and they said, what's that over there? And I said, oh, that's just our garden. And so they were down there taking pictures, and so yesterday I was visiting with them, and I said, got some more pictures for you to take. So they went down to Third Street, and it's like, they couldn't believe that. So,
It is a lot.
yeah.
Just an FYI, Angela told me that they had 1,200 people go through the Freedom Bus,
Oh,
so
good.
That was
it's a
the-
huge success.
That was an amazing trailer.
Very nice.
All right, I guess we're all done. Aaron, thank you for sticking around. And we are done.
Green Path.